Hi, Four Pinners. Welcome to your July scopes. This is going to be about a 10-minute video. I'm going to upload probably a couple more as we move through the month, about 10 minutes a piece. Maybe it's just a really quick check-in to remind you guys of some things that I want you to remember, simply because I'm thinking about you, because these things hit me all the time as it relates to these cycles in numerology. Okay, so July is the number of the mystic. It's a 7 month. I have uploaded a video just to cover July 7. It's about 10 minutes long, I think, something like that. I'm going to just keep them shorter so that you can learn about this incredible, heady, beautifully intellectual month that is connected to magic and mysticism and a lot of other cool things, okay? So the way that you are going to successfully navigate this month is through the number 2. So your directives for this 30-day sprint run in order to get the biggest bang for your buck in this month is the number 2. And the number 2 is all about cooperating with other people, usually on a one-on-one situation basis or one to a few, and finding the balance there in knowing when you've given enough and when you need to put yourself first and remove yourself from the situation. The number 2 is connected to the diplomat. It's the communication number, and it's highly intuitive. Actually, the 7 is also highly intuitive. And the need to be able to understand that you're working with 2 different points of view. It is the number directly after 1, which is singular. First there was 1 and then there were 2. And both individuals are unique in their 1 and have to find a way to communicate, have to find a way to relate to each other. In understanding another human being, you also need to feel the things that are not spoken, and feel into the places that there's complications and the need for resolution, and can you find a bridge to make both points of view, if there's conflict, heard, and then also negotiate down to, well, can we find a midpoint where everybody's happy here, everybody's heard, and everybody's happy, all right? So a lot of 2s are in a position of being the power behind the throne, and that's not a step down. In fact, I think that most big players out there would not be functioning as successfully as they are if they didn't have 2s working closely with them, who are able to, handle the counsel, handle the conflict. And sometimes, guess what? That makes them a superpower, because they can read any room they walk into. And this is what you are working with this month, by the way. They can read the room that they're walking into, and they're thinking about all the issues and the problems and how to help and how to make things better. And also, here's where the balance comes in. Talking to other people about it, speaking, talking, communicating to other people about it who are also involved. So it's not the 2's responsibility to fix the entire planet, right? That's where 2s get stuck. And that's where you need to make sure that you don't go. And that's why the counterbalance to cooperating is balance. Where's your balance point? So in a nutshell, what I'm telling you is this month is really going to be about relating to other people. It's not necessarily so much about business or moving your business forward. You don't have any of the big business numbers that are working specifically for you in July. But the coupling for you, because you're in a 4 personal year, what you're going to see here is a lot of legal paperwork, signing of contracts, talking to people, negotiating, just back and forth. One of the elements of 7 is also that of all things legal and legalities and money, assets, stuff, and things. And I haven't said this to any other pin yet, because it's not really the most important thing for them to be thinking about, but it is for you, okay? As you are brokering and discussing and having pretty intimate conversations with intimate relationship, people you're in intimate relationship in your life, the need for you to remain intuitively pipeline connected up in your system is imperative. And then letting it cook inside your heart chakra. So our intuition sits in our gut. And that's where we always say, I just had a gut feeling, right? But the intuitive belly is what I'm telling everybody to drop into, because we're working with a 7. And then piping it up to the heart. And the heart then can kick it into the mental field, and then the mental field and your intuitive field can have a fabulous conversation, and then you speak. Find the courage to speak, okay? So overall, usually for 4s, when you get to July, you're kind of doing this. You're like, okay, I think I might need a minute. I'm a little tired. This is a building year. It's a work year. You're creating a new foundation. And I know a lot of you have. And I just know so many of your stories and where you're at. Yeah. So fall into the conversational aspect of this and do your very best to have authentic conversation. Do your very best to fall into the mental field. And this is important for you guys to hear. The 7 is the mental number. It's connected to the mental field. In fact, I'm going to slow down a little bit. It's the ruler of the mental field. And the penultimate goal is not to simply have a ton of expert information in your head, This, I've studied, I've researched, I've done all these things, because oftentimes 7 life pathers, or when we get into a 7 personal year, or actually we're sitting in a 7 month, and even a 7 day, yes, you can break these down to days. What we tend to do is we would rather listen to other people's expert opinion about anything, any topic. And then we tend to, and I mean me walking around in my bones and making decisions in my life, we say, yeah, okay, yep, that sounds good. I think I'll adopt that. Yep, that sounds good. Without dropping into the very core of our intuitive belly and checking it for ourselves. Do you really believe that? Is that really true? Is that actually a yes or a no? So what you want to do is you want to just take a beat, take a minute, you see what I just did? Slow down time for a second, drop into your intuition, let it be a part of the conversation. Body, mind, spirit, right? Your emotions are just as important. Your intuition is just as important as your mind, the capability of your mind. Your intuitive sense is just as capable. We just have to give it a seat at the table. And then the kicker for you guys, here's the kicker. Have the trust to speak it, to share it. Don't think about things like if I share this piece of information that I now know and I've now figured out and all this stuff, it's going to be used against me. That's betrayal, right? Don't go there. Just stay as far away from that as you possibly can, because if you can't speak your truth, you know, it makes life complicated, right? Be authentic. Speak. Have the courage to speak. And I guarantee you, because of the 7 frequency, and this is where I'm going to wrap it for you guys, the 7 frequency is mystic, magic, synchronistic events. This is what we're all of us are swimming in this month. You get to swim in the communication and cooperation and in this deep intuition. What? That's where you get to swim around in. It's so important for you, by the way. Next month you're moving into a completely different set of numbers, and so this month is a month for you to just take this breath, drop into your intuition. You're going to need it next month. Know your yes, know your no, and know it in your gut, partnering with your mental field. All right, you guys? Okay, I'll check back in with you in 5 or 6 days with another just little, well, who knows how these are going to come in. Might be walking down the street or in the middle of a grocery store and go, oh, I have something to say to the 4 pins. Okay, big love. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Any comments, questions, anything that you guys have that you want me to get my eyeballs on, just post them right here in this video. All right, you guys, I'll talk to you in a little bit. Big loves. Bye.